Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for joining tonight.
Evening.
Revisions. Um, Tonight I'll just employ every one of us to just try to have a book, notes.
Please, can you help me?
Let me move this person. So I'll just employ every one of you to have a book, and a pen, because it's advisable that when it's interactive, where you have a book and a pen, you can try to understand things in your own way. So, without wasting our time, I think some of us have class by 8 p.m. So, without wasting our time, I'll try to share my screen and show you something. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. So can you see my screen, please? Can you see my screen? Okay, you can see my screen. I'm sharing this wrong slide. Just let me check the right slide. Today is me at 8:01, right? 8:01. I'm sorry, just bear with me. See, I'm stressed. Good. Just bear with me, please. I've seen the right document I'm looking for. I'll share the screen now, so I was just looking for the right document. Can you share the screen, please?
Yes, we can see.
Thank you very much. Once again, good evening for joining tonight, class. Thank you very much for joining tonight, class, rather. And I have your past question from 2022 to 2024 on the MIAD 801, which is Method and Logics of Political Inquiry, which is otherwise known as research methodology. So, for my research, for my own personal research, questions in our examination under this course is always under eight important topics. Listen, tonight we will solve 4 topics together. So the first topic we will solve together, I put it under quantitative and qualitative research. So you can just write quantitative question under quantitative and qualitative research. Just write quantitative and qualitative research. So just put question quantitative and qualitative research. I'm not seeing you, but I don't know whether you can see me. Can you see me, please?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can still see you.
Yes, we can see you.
You can see me and you can see the screen, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So I want you to look at this first page and tell me which of these question numbers talks about quantitative and qualitative research. Just read it from 1 to number 6. Take your time.
Number 1.
Quantitative research. Mention
What is number
1?
What is number 1 saying?
Explain quantitative research. That's 1A. Then 1B, mention and discuss 5 characteristics of quantitative research.
Okay. Aside from this number 1, is there any other question that talks about quantitative research?
Yes, number 4.
Number 4. What is number 4 saying?
Discuss research variables in the research process. That's 4A. Then 4B, explain the importance of the dependence and independence variables in quantitative research.
So this number 4, it's under a different topic. is under a different topic. The topic is on in research. Okay, so not purely quantitative and qualitative research. So this quantitative and qualitative research is in module 1. You get. So I just want you to note the first question, how they put the first question in this first slide. Look at the second slide now. The second page I put now. Which question talks about quantitative and qualitative research, please?
Number 1 also.
Number 1.
Number
1A and number 1B.
Okay. What is number 1A saying, please?
What are the difference between quantitative and qualitative research?
Thank you very much. Why the first slide I show you is they are talking about quantitative research, the definition and the characteristics. Here they comes here, they says we should talk about the different and the quantitative research. And the 1B, what is it saying in 1B?
Explain the characteristics of qualitative research.
Characteristics of qualitative research. In the first slide, they said we should mention characteristics of quantitative research. Why in the second year, they said in the second paper, qualitative. The first one is talking about quantitative research, while the second one is talking about qualitative research and the characteristics. You get. So the third slide, can you please tell me which of the questions talk about quantitative and qualitative research, please?
Number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1 again. What is the question?
Yes.
What is qualitative research? That's 1A. Then 1B, name and discuss 5 qualities of qualitative research.
Thank you very much. This number 1A is the direct opposite of this question here is the direct opposite of the first slide I show you. The first slide talking about definition of quantitative research and characteristics of quantitative research. But this one talks about the definition of qualitative research and the how do you call the qualities. Here we talk about qualities, we talk about either they will use qualities or they use characteristics or they use features. They all mean the same thing. So if they say features of qualitative research, characteristics of qualitative research, or how do you call features, characteristics, or qualities, they all mean the same thing. Okay. So I just want we proceed again. 2023. Which of these questions talks about quantitative and qualitative, please?
Number 2.
Number 2. What's it saying?
What is quantitative research? 1A. Sorry, 2B, 2A. Then the B is mention and explain 5 characteristics of quantitative.
You will see that this question is repeated year in, year out. So you as a student attending my own revision class, you should just know that this is cheat. Like it is expo. Let me just put it like that. So you should be able to, at all costs, even if you don't know anything in this 801, at all costs, you must be able to know this thing.
Qualitative and quantitative.
Now, the next slide I have here, which of the questions talks about qualitative and quantitative in this next slide? That was last year, January.
I don't think. Could it be number 5?
No, number 5 is another topic in our modules. That means here there is no question.
Yes.
No question.
Quantitative and qualitative. That means we've passed through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exams before they just decided to remove that qualitative and quantitative research. Understand? We proceed to the next one. Which of these questions talks about qualitative and qualitative? Can you check it too?
I think none.
None. Thank you very much. So which means out of 7 questions, we have 5 that show talks about quantitative and qualitative. Why 2
research
do not talk about it? Now look at the next slide also.
Number 3.
Number 3. What is number 3 telling us?
With relevant examples, discuss the major differences between qualitative and quantitative research?
Which means if you know the definition of quantitative and qualitative and you know their features, their characteristics, or their qualities, you should be able to answer this number 3. You get? So we move to the next slide also. Which of these questions talks about quantitative and qualitative?
There's none here also.
There is none here.
None
That means
here.
out of 8 exams, 5 talks about quantitative and 6 talks about quantitative and qualitative. Yeah, and I think 3 does not talk about it. So the last slide, can you check the last slide here?
Number 1.
Number 1. What does it say?
What is quantitative research? State and discuss 5 characteristics of quantitative research.
Thank you very much. So you can see it's just a demonstration. Stop sharing this screen. So it's just a demonstration of how these questions have been coming in, year out. You get? So I would like us to take them one after the other. The first question that is common under this topic, quantitative and qualitative, the first question that is common is, what is quantitative research? What is quantitative research? That is a very common question in our exam. You've seen it now. You can see out of 9 past questions, they appear almost like 6 times out of 9 past questions. So what is quantitative research? Can anyone just give me an explanation based on their own understanding of quantitative research? The name is quantitative. Quantity. When you say quantity, you talk about something you get. So can anyone just explain based on your own understanding?
Based on my understanding, it's what's involved collection of numerical data.
Thank you very much. It involves the what? Can you repeat it?
Collection of numerical data.
Numerical data. So quantitative research on its own deals with numbers, statistical data. Do you get? So that is our own definition of quantitative research. So a research that deals with numerical data or statistical information. So which means that whenever you want to define quantitative research, you must either mention numerical, numbers, or you mention statistical. Because the examiner will look at some key points in your definition. If these key points are not in your definition, that means you've missed your definition. Now, if you have your pen and your paper, now let's go now. Quantitative, what is quantitative research? Quantitative research is a structured and numerical-based research. A structured and numerical-based research that measures variables and quantify relationships by using statistical tools to analyze data. In this definition of quantitative research, we indirectly talked about what Mrs. Ademola Moyeni talked now. She mentioned numerical and statistical data. So, which means in your definition of quantitative research, you cannot escape these keywords. Listen, the examiner will look at these keywords in your definition. They must appear in your definition. You either talk about number and statistical data. A research that deals with numbers and statistical data. That's quantitative research. Quantity, how much. Understand? So, this type of research, it focuses on answering what? Like the question, WHAT. Where and when. It's focusing on answering what, let's say, what is the population of people against Tinubu? What is the numbers of people against this theory? What is the numbers of people? Understand? Or where? Or when it's time. Understand? You're focusing on what, when, and where of social phenomenon through measurable indicators. Through measurable indicators and objective analysis. Through measurable indicator and objective analysis. The word objective analysis also is an important keyword we need to retain, because it is believed that when we talk about quantitative research, it's like you are saying 1 + 1 is equal to 2. It's objective everywhere in the world. 1 + 1 is equal to 2. It's not that it can be changed. So when you use numbers to collate information, it is sure that maybe if you have 20 people supporting the administration of Tinubu, you have 10 people supporting against the administration of Tinubu. After calculating the total number of people you did the research for, you do 20 + 10, that is 30. 20 + 10 can never be 35. So at the end of your research, you get you have an objective analysis. Listen, that is quantitative research. So it deals with statistical and numerical data. A simple put, a research that deals with statistical and numerical data, numbers and statistics, to come out with objective variables or objective analysis. You get? Now, another question that is common, based on what we've just studied together in the past question, another question that is very common is mention and discuss 5 characteristics of quantitative research.
Mr. Akanji.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Akanji, please, you have explained quantitative. Why not explain qualitative, please?
We will get there.
Okay.
One step at a time. We'll get there.
Okay.
Thank you. So now, you've already know the definition of quantitative research. You now need to know what do you see in a research before you can call it a quantitative research. You understand? That is where we talk about qualities or features or characteristics of research. So anywhere, you see in the past question, some places they use qualities of quantitative research, while some places they use characteristics of quantitative research. Some places you can see they use features. They all mean the same thing. So either you see features of quantitative research, characteristics, or qualities, they mean the same thing. So 5 features of quantitative research. If you have your pen, please, I just want you to know that. Number 1 features is taken from our definition. You get? From our definition, we said numerical and statistical data or orientation. Numerical statistical orientation or data. That's number 1 features of how do you call it? Quantitative research. But this question they ask is tricky. They said mention and discuss. You have 2 ways. You have 2 ways to answer this question. Is either you mention all the 5 features. After mentioning all the 5 features, you will now start explaining them one after the other. Or you mention 1, you explain. You mention 2, you explain. So you have 2 ways to answer this, because the question is 2. It's 2 questions. You mention and you discuss. So it's either you mention all the 5 features and you now start discussing them, or you mention 1, numerical statistical orientation, and you explain them. You get? Now, numerical and statistical orientation, that's number 1 features of quantitative research. What is that? Listen, data in quantitative research is expressed numerically. Data in quantitative research is expressed numerically. Let me mute Mr. Yusuf. So, data in quantitative research is expressed numerically and analyzed using mathematical tools. Which means if you want to do your quantitative research, you must at all costs have numerical, you must have numbers, numerical data. Most of the research we do in in our assignments, most of them are not quantitative research. Most of them are qualitative. because they doesn't have number. When the lecturer give us assignment and he talk about critically do research on this thing, most of them are qualitative, quantitative. Because this quantitative research, you must have numerical and statistical information there. So they use mathematical tools. And so that's number one. Number two, it is structured and predetermined. Structured and predetermined. Structured and predetermined. Structured and predetermined. Why explaining this thing? You have to know that when you're doing a quantitative research, your variables, your instruments have to be ready before even you conduct your research. Let's say you want to do interview, or you want to question, you want to take questionnaires, or you want to you need samples of people. What you need to do, you have to be ready. If it's yes or no answer you need, have to be ready. Your questionnaires have to be ready even before you start your research. You understand? So information, you structure yourself. You understand? You already plan ahead. In qualitative research, it is flexibly structured, but in the quantitative research, it is perfectly structured. You plan everything. Your questionnaire is ready. Your how do you call it? Your survey is ready. Everything is ready before you say you embark on the research itself. You understand? Number 3 characteristics is objective and conclusive. Objectives and conclusive. Objectives and conclusive. If they are asking us how many gender we have, generally accepting, we have 2 gender, the male gender and the female gender. That is generally acceptable. But nowadays in the Western world, we can say that we have 3 genders: people that are not male and the people that are not female. So it is, you already know that the result you will get in a quantitative research are objectives and conclusive. So it is aimed to produce a generalized and variable conclusion, something that it cannot be argued. Like, okay, we know that we have male gender, we have female gender. Understand? So if we bring another gender, you must explain the 3rd gender to us. So although some researchers will say we have 3 genders, some will say we have 2 genders. So if you mention that you have 3 genders, you must explain the 3rd gender. Understand? It might be an hermaphrodite or someone that is not a male or a female. So you must explain it. So the result you will bring in a quantitative research are always objectives. 1 + 1, 2, not 1 + 1, 4. Listen, are always objectives and conclusive. It's a generalized conclusion that is always produced. Why the number 4 characteristics of a quantitative research? It uses large samples. Let me just move this person. It uses large samples. It uses large samples. You know, when you want to do your research, you have to sample some things. Maybe those people, the particular things that you want to do research on. Maybe you population. Let's say for population. Listen, if you want to know the numbers of people in Kaduna that voted for Tinubu, you know you have to deal with population, a large sample of people. Understand? If you want to know the numbers of people that got kidnapped in 2025 in Benue State, you know,
in the name of Jesus Christ. We're praying for you as a family, we will not pay. We pray that you will never.
Remember this person, I'm sorry. So it has to do with large samples. So to enhance reliability, to enhance trust, you understand? To enhance trust and representation of findings, researchers tend to use large samples. You understand? So you will not want to study people affected by kidnapping in some part of Nigeria, and you use only 10 people to judge thousands of people living in that particular area. So if you want to study people affected by kidnapping in particular area, at least you have to base your research on at least many people. You understand that? So these large people you use, they are a large sample which can represent the views of thousands of people. You will not just base your conclusion, your research on 10 people, because 10 people cannot represent thousands. You understand? So, but we can say 500 can either can represent 1,000, because the conclusion you will get among 500 will give us a plus or minus result at the end. So the fifth characteristics of a quantitative research is it focuses on variables. It focuses on variable. So it focuses on variable. A quantitative research always try to focus on the measure relationship. It measure relationship between variables. Understand? So like in our course we have what we call dependent and independent variables. We get it in one of the questions. Just write it down. Just write in a circle so you can remember. We have one we call dependent and independent variables. So when you do your quantitative research, you have to do measure the relationship between things, and so two things together. Understand? The numbers, the population of people affected by kidnapping in Borno, for instance. Understand? When you do this kind of research, as you know that maybe you can say that in Borno, in Borno, out of 100 people, out of how do you call 100 people we interview, only 60 are affected by kidnapping. Why 40 are not affected by kidnapping? You understand? So you always compare it with a variable. You always compare with something. So you not just base your research on just one angle. As you are doing the one angle, you also do the second angle. Who are affected and who are not? Those that are not affected by the kidnapping. So you compare and contrast it. So to give a generalized conclusion, we know that people have been affected by kidnapping in Borno, but only 60% of them are affected, while 40% are affected are not affected. So that's like that. Just moved him. So these are the 5 characteristics of quantitative research. But you can get many characteristics based on your own understanding of quantitative research. But for the purpose of our class, I just bring out 5. So if you watch module 1 of our video in 801, we mentioned some also, which you can just name them as the characteristics of features of quantitative research. And this question was asked 3 times: 2022, 2023, in January 2023 for weekend people and the weekday people. So you should know that they are repeated questions. You understand? They are repeated questions. You understand? So we'll proceed to the next part, which is qualitative research. What is qualitative research? No, at the beginning of our class, we'll let you know, I show you the past question, and you mentioned that one of the questions that is being repeated year in, year out is qualitative research. Also, what is qualitative research? Or explain qualitative research, or define qualitative research. Either they tell you to explain, define, or what is qualitative research. They also want you to know, they want you to let them know what you understand by qualitative research. Understand? So define the concept of qualitative research. Explain the concept of qualitative. What is, understand? So they want you to let you let the examiner know what you understand by it. Now, we talk about quantitative being using numerical or statistical information. Now, who can tell me what you understand? Can anyone tell me what you understand by qualitative research? What is qualitative research?
So qualitative research,
okay.
Quantitative, structured. So it's just the opposite of the other. So qualitative is unstructured. It uses words and descriptions, meanings, experiences. That's just the summary of it. It's just the opposite of the other. That one uses numeric numbers and so on. Qualitative deals with descriptives, the word experience, and unstructured as well. That's just the summary.
Thank you very much. Which, from our own point of view, qualitative research is direct opposite of quantitative research because it uses words and descriptions rather than using numerical or statistical data. You understand? So if you are able to understand it this way, even without reading your exam, without reading for your exam, if you enter exam, or you should be able to just write like 5 to 6 lines based on that explanation. You don't need to cram. Cramming will not help you in exam, but trying to understand this concept So when you understand this concept, you can be able to develop your understanding into 3 to 4 lines. Shikena, you get your mark. You understand? So now, what is qualitative research? This question was asked like 3 times. You understand? Like out of the 9 past question I show you, it was asked 3 times. So if this question is not asked, the other one is asked, the quantitative research is asked. So the year you don't see qualitative research, be rest assured that you either see quantitative research. Now, quantitative research on its own part, this type of research, it emphasizes on words, what we are saying, our words. It emphasizes on words rather than numbers. It emphasizes the kind of research that emphasizes on words rather than numbers by providing deep insight into social and behavioral process. By providing deep insight into social and behavioral process. It is also an unstructured, we say the quantitative research, on the other hand, is structured research. But this one, it is also an unstructured and exploratory method of inquiry. An exploratory method of inquiry that seeks to understand the meaning, feelings and experience or perspective of participants, or the viewpoint, the meaning, the feelings, the experience, or the perspective of participants, or the viewpoint of participants. So in this definition of quantitative or qualitative research, it helps us to understand that qualitative research is not structured. It is unstructured type of research that focuses on words. It helps us to understand the meaning, the feelings, or the viewpoint, or the perspective of participants. So you should just know that once you know the definition of one, use your brain to just put it in the opposite side. If you know the definition of quantitative, try to, if you forget the meaning of qualitative, automatically process it as the opposite of the quantitative. So when you automatically process it that way, you should be able to answer the question of what is qualitative research, because it is a direct opposite of the quantitative research. Now, another question that occur year in year out, which I show you at the beginning of our class, is mention and discuss the qualities of, or the characteristics, or the features of qualitative research. Characteristics, quantities, characteristics, qualities, or features of a qualitative research, which means what do you see in a research before you can call it a qualitative research? That is what they are asking for. So, what do you see in a man to say is a man? What do you see in a girl to say is a girl? The same thing applicable to this question also. What do you see in a research to call it qualitative research? Characteristics of a qualitative research. From the definition, you can get the characteristics also. If you know the definition, you don't need to stress yourself. From the definition, number 1, characteristics is non-numerical and descriptive. From the definition Juliet gave us, she mentioned that it's descriptive, non-numerical and descriptive. This is first characteristics. If you want to explain this one, you say it is it tends to describe social phenomenon using words. It tends to describe social phenomenon using words, observation, narratives. Yes, sir. If you want to understand what is happening in a particular society, you will not use 1 + 1 to understand that one. You go meet them, they speak with you. Listen. So based on what they are saying, you can understand what the research you want to conduct. So you use words, observations, and narrative. That one is not number, not numerical. It describes. not numerical. So number 2 characteristics is exploratory. Exploratory. This type of research is used to discover meaning, motive, or underlying reason. Maybe you want to conduct a research. Why is insecurity more in some part of Nigeria, for instance? You want to know the motive of why insecurity is more. Maybe it's linked to unemployment. Maybe it's linked to government maltreatment. Maybe it's linked to marginalization. You understand? So you want to know the motive. You understand? You want to explore why this thing is happening in our society. Why most Nigerian politicians are corrupt. I'm sorry for this. I'm also a politician. So number 3 reason, it is flexible structure, or characteristics rather, flexible structure. You know, we say in quantitative research, it is perfectly structured, but this one, it is flexible structures. You know, the reason why it is flexible structure is because this type of research evolves, understand? And it adapts to new insights. Understand? It adapts to new insights. For instance, when we were doing our class, the lecturer mentioned something that in some part of the north, they tried to do one research that if the election comes, will you vote yes or no? They asked him yes or no type of question. And some people say, inshallah. And so in your own research, when you bring out your research, is yes or no that is in your survey. But when you go to the field, in the north, people are saying, inshallah. And inshallah is not in your own research. So because people are saying inshallah, that means your research becomes flexible at the same time. You change your research questionnaire or your survey. You put a part for inshallah, which is, the inshallah is neither yes or no. You just put it there, if God will, I'll vote. If God will, I'll not vote. So, but if you base it on yes or no, you will know that your yes or no is 1 + 1. Maybe 10 people say they will vote, 5 people say they will not vote. But the yes or no, or the inshallah part is that there are unpredictable numbers of people that can decide whether they will vote or not. They put everything on the hand of God. So the qualitative research is flexible structured. You understand? Which is, it can adapt to any circumstances. You can change it on the field. But the quantitative research is a structure. If you want to change it, that means you have to start from the beginning again. Understand? Number 4 characteristics of qualitative research: interpretive orientation. It has an interpretive orientation because it tends to understand or focuses on understanding the participant viewpoint or perspective. For instance, you want to know the effect of Boko Haram in Borno. You want to know the effect of Boko Haram in Borno. And so here you are trying to if you're doing your research, you will try to understand you focus on understanding the viewpoint of those people you are doing your research on. Yes, so you focus on their orientation, what they think, what is their own conclusion regarding these Boko Haram things. Listen, so that's it. Number 5. The number 5 characteristics of qualitative research is it investigates why and how. Why and how. You know, we say quantitative research talks about what, when. You talk about what, when, and where, if I'm right. But this one we talked about why and how. Why does this thing happen? Why is traffic too much in Lagos? Listen, you try to investigate why is traffic too much in Lagos. Why are some Nigerians don't pay NEPA bill? Listen, so how did this thing happen? So you try to know the motivation of why some things are happening or how some things are happening. Listen, so these are 5 things I mentioned. So in our revision mode 1, if you go and watch that video again, you will see it. We mentioned some characteristics or features of qualitative research. You can also add it to it, or you can do your personal research on it. So as I mentioned, when you say discourse, mention and discourse. So you have two ways to answer this kind of question. Is either you list them out. After listing them out, you will now be explaining them one after the other, or you write number one, you explain it. You write number two, you explain it, because it's two questions. Understand? Some people might be doing a mistake by just explaining. They will just put number one and be explaining. But here they are saying mention and explain. Understand? So you have to mention that point you want to explain. But some people might be doing the mistake of just explaining without mentioning, which means you are losing some marks. So the examiner, those people that have, if you've marked WAEC before, you will understand. Let me just move this person. So if you've marked WAEC, you understand what I mean. So for people that have marked WAEC before, you will see that when they ask for mention and discuss, when you mention, you can have 1 mark for each of the things you mentioned. And when you explain, you can have another mark. But if you just explain, you will lose some marks. Understand? That is how it works. You get. Now, let's proceed to the differences between qualitative and quantitative research. This question is asked like in 2022, September, May 2023, weekend and weekday. And it's asked continuously. So what is the differences between qualitative and quantitative research? So I want everyone to talk based on your understanding of what we've been talking now. I'll just take Ademola Omoyeni. After that, we have Mr. Ali, we have Adebimpe. So just giving one reason. Difference between qualitative and quantitative. Anyone? Let's start from Ademola Omoyeni. Not here with us. Can anyone just answer it? I think she's not here.
Oh, sorry, I'm here.
You said
I was trying to unmute.
What? Please.
Hello,
Okay, so
can you hear me?
Who is talking?
Okay.
I wanted
I'm here.
talking, but let us talk.
No, you
Okay.
can talk.
You can go ahead.
Who is talking?
Okay, I'm here.
You
Okay,
said-
so for the qualitative, one of the differences is that it's flexible, while quantitative is not flexible.
So if it's not flexible, we call it what?
Unstructured.
So if it's not flexible, we call it unstructured. If it's flexible, we call it sorry. So if it's flexible, you said it's qualitative. Now the quantitative become what?
Unstructured.
Is she right?
Structured and predetermined.
Right. Structured. Yes. So structured
Okay.
is the quantitative, while the
Yes.
qualitative is unstructured, which is into bracket flexible.
Yes.
Now, can anyone say give us another point again?
Okay, for one of the differences from the definition for the quantitative, it uses numbers and statistics, while for qualitative, just the opposite. It uses words and description.
Thank you
And
very
then as well, you should know that from the definition, for quantitative, it is objectives. For
Okay.
qualitative, it is subjective. Just
Thank
the
you.
opposite. While for so that's just it.
Another person to give me another differences. Another person.
If I may, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, for qualitative, we can say that it focuses on it's exploratory, while quantitative deals with objectives and conclusiveness.
Okay, thank you very much. Another person to give us another one.
The quantitative
Emphasis on answering
what? Who is talking?
Is Joy.
Okay, Joy. Okay, I'm listening to you.
Yes. For quantitative, it focuses to answering what, where, and when. While for qualitative, it answers why and how.
So when you want to answer that way, you put social phenomenon in there. You put social phenomenon. You focusing on the question of why and how of social phenomenon. Same thing on the other hand, what you get of social phenomenon, because you're deciding based on the society, what is happening in the society. So you put social phenomenon there. So you see, it's very easy. every one of you have given one example, which means you already have an idea of what qualitative and quantitative mean.
There's also that of variables. That's exploring relationships between two or more variables. That's for quantitative. Okay. And then for the qualitative, that one it tends to understand viewpoints of the participants.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it explores that.
And the last thing I will add to it is that it uses the other. Okay, let me just ask it now. One of it uses large samples, while the other one uses small sample.
Which qualitative uses quantitative uses large samples.
Okay. Why the other one?
The other one uses
quality.
Thank you very much. What the other one? Small
sample. Qualitative uses small samples.
Thank you very much. You can see that it's very easy. So once you understand the characteristics of each of them, you can bring out the differences between them because the characteristics are different, opposite to each other. So you can see that it's very easy. So this is team one. Team one, that's the topics on quantitative and qualitative research are very common in our past question. We've mentioned about the definition of qualitative, the definition of quantitative, the characteristics of qualitative and qualitative, and we'll mention about the differences of this thing. So which means you now, being attending this class, should be able to understand them so that when you meet them in the exam, it will be easier for you to answer. Now, I will share my slide to the second team. I want you to check my my screen again. We will talk about the second team. Just bear with me. If you can see my screen, just tell me. If you can see it, just let me know. Now, okay, just bear with me. Can you see my screen? No, not this one. I'm sorry, just bear with me. Can you see my screen, please? Let me move the screen. Talking, please. I'm not seeing the person here. Please, can you mute your mic, please? Now, let's look at these questions now. Which of these questions talks about ethical issues and informed consent? Ethical issues and informed consent. Let me repeat it. That's the second topic that is common. At least it is mentioned like 3 or 4 times in all the years. So ethical issues and informed consent. Which of these questions talks about it?
Question 2, right?
Number 2, yeah.
Question 2 telling us.
Explain why free and informed consent is relevant in the research process.
Okay.
Then B, what are the benefits of free and informed process in research?
Thank you very much. That's question 2. We get so informed consent, which means that if you want to do your research, people that you want to do research on must give their consent. They must be aware that they are doing research with them, or not that you just go and pick some people and on the street. They don't know what they are doing. They just be filling in form for you. So they must be aware. Understand? So that is on the question of frequency. That's on frequency. Let's look at the second slide. Which of these questions talks about ethical issues and informed consent?
Number 2, question 2.
What is number 2?
Question 2.
Explain why research with human participants require ethical approval.
Thank you very much. That's why you must follow ethical approval to do your research. Why you must follow some ethics. You get? So you can see that it appears also. We proceed again in the third slide. Which of these questions talk about ethical issue and informed consent?
Question 2.
What question 2 saying?
Mention and explain 4 critical areas of ethical concern in research.
Thank you very much. 4 areas of ethical concern in research. So you must mention 4. So you can see, like, out of 3 past questions, they occur in 3 years. So we proceed again. Which of these questions talk about ethical issues and informed consent?
Number 3.
Number 3. What is number 3 saying?
Mention and explain 4 reasons why research with human participants requires ethical approval.
Yeah, look at this question. Look at the way
it's like a repeat with the last paper.
Thank you very much. The way they put this question is different from the other question.
Mention and explain.
They mean the same thing. You understand? They just how do you call twist the question for you. You understand? So let's move to the next slide also. Which of these questions talks about ethical and informed consent? Which of these talks about it?
Question 2.
Question 2. What is it saying?
Yeah.
List and explain any 4 ethical principles in research.
Ethical principle research in research.
So, which means that out of the 5 past questions we've been checking now, they occur every year out of the 5 past questions. One thing is that you will see some people will do the exam in January, some will do it in May, some will do it in September, which means that all the years it is showing from 2022 to 2024. You understand? Let's look at these questions on the next slide. Which of these talk about ethical issues and informed consent? It doesn't appear.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Out of 6 years, out of 6 exams rather, it appears in 5. You get it appears in 5 of 6 exams. So we look at the second one, the next one.
None
again.
It's not
out of 7, it appears. Out of 7, it appears in 5. You get?
Yeah.
Let's look at here also.
Number 2.
What is number 2 saying?
Discuss any 3 reasons why ethical issues need to be considered in conducting research.
Thank you.
Different question entirely.
Son. So they just twist the question again. Yeah. So it's like they are saying the same thing, but in that way. You get? So out of 8 questions, out of 8 questions, it appears in 6.
6, yeah.
So let's look at this one also. What is this one saying? Is there any one?
Number 2. Yeah, number 2.
What is it saying here?
Explain why free and informed consent is relevant in the research process.
Okay.
Then B, discuss the benefits of free and informed process in research.
Thank you very much. So out of 9, it appears in I think 7.
7, yeah.
So
yeah, 7.
You should know that the way I'm planning my revision with you should know that I'm trying to guide you on where you should focus on more and where you should not focus more. Oh, understand? So as you attend my class, you should be able to, at least in the exam, try to answer this question easily. So after attending this class, you read the past questions. So you read you watch the video, you try to understand it yourself. So now let's take it one after the other. The first question we'll take is free and informed consent. Free and informed consent. Why is free and informed consent essential in research? Yes, son. So I'll explain why free and informed consent is relevant in research. Explain why free and informed consent is relevant in research. You can see out of the 9, it is 9 past question because let me just explain how it works. Each year we have 3 exams and we are trying to study 3 past questions, 3 years, 2022, 2023, and 2024. So each year we have January, May, and September exam. So 3 for each of this year, you have 9. So out of these 9 sittings, 9 exams, it appears in 7 and doesn't appear in 2. So you should know that statistically, plus or minus, you might come across this thing. You understand? Now, the question now is, explain why free and informed consent is relevant in research. Why you must take consent. why the consent must be free before you take it. Understand why it is important. Now, free and informed consent is essential because it ensures that the participant, number one, it ensures that the participant receive accurate and adequate information about the research. That means before you do your research, people you want to do research on, they must receive adequate and accurate information. That why are you doing the research? Why do you want to know the numbers of people affected by insecurity in Borno? Why do you want to? You must explain it to them. They must know before they give you the consent. You should not lie to them. If you lie, that means it is unethical. They must have the information, accurate and adequate information. That's number one, the reason. Number two, the participant decide voluntarily without coercion. They must decide to give their consent voluntarily without coercion. Coercion means by force. You should not force them before they can give their consent. I don't know whether you notice this in some interviews, even on national TV. They will blur the face of the people they are doing interview with. They don't want them to see the face. Maybe the person that they're interviewing said that do not show my face. So that word, do not show my face, will make them to blur the face on national TV or normal interviews. Because if the interviewer show the face, they can sue the interviewer that at least we told you that you should not show the face of these people. Why did you show the face? So the participants decide voluntarily without coercion, pressure, or manipulation. You must not manipulate them. You must not pressure them that you must do this research. No. Voluntarily, they must give their consent. You understand? The third reason why free and informed consent is important is that it helps the participant to understand the risk, the benefit, and procedure involved. It helps the participants to understand the risk, the benefit, and the pressures or the procedure involved. For a person that want to study insecurity in, let me say, in Borno or Maiduguri, you just want to study insecurity, you will know that these are sensitive questions in this part of the world, in this part of Nigeria. They are very, very sensitive questions that you cannot just talk about it just like that. So if you want to do a research on that, let them know that there is risk or if there is risk. So some of them will tell them that, do not tell them that the so person that says it, because you see, you might think that the whole state is big, but some people, by mentioning their name, they can know the house. So that means that if you mention that so person says this thing, they can trace the person house to go and harm the person. So you let them know the risk, the benefit, and the procedure you involve in your research. I don't know if you usually read news. Some news, when you're reading some news, you will just see that they will just say, when they are trying to take information from people, there are some names, they will not disclose this name or people they interview. You understand?
Yeah, they'll say anonymous.
Yeah, they're anonymous. They will say anonymous. You understand? Because the person they interview say, please, no, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to die. Don't mention my name. The person will do the research with you, but the person because of the risk involved, the person will not want you to mention his name or her name. You understand? So you let them. Let it help us to understand the risk, the benefit, and the procedure involved in research. And this also helps the participants to retain the right to withdraw at any time. It helps the participants to retain the right to withdraw at any time, which means that if a participant starts a research with you and at the end is not feeling insecure, he can run away. He can say, I'm not doing it again. No, it's not by force. You understand? It's not by force. Because you should know that this informed consent is telling us that there should not be coercion. That should not be pressure.
You should lay your bed.
You understand? So it
gives for them, definitely.
So it gives them the right to withdraw at any time. You understand? So this is the reason why free and informed consent is very, very essential in research. Are we communicating?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now, we proceed to the one. Another question is, what are the reasons ethical approval is required in research? Reason why ethical approval is required in research. You can see, let me tell you the trick. The trick is, if you cannot answer this question and you remember the first one, which is explain why free and informed consent is working. If you remember that one, you can try to manipulate that answer into this question. Let me, by explaining, you understand what I mean. Number one reason of why ethical approval is required in research. Number one is protect the right. It protect the right, the dignity and welfare of participants. Ethical approval protect the right, the dignity and welfare of participants. You know, in the free and informed consent, we mentioned that the participant has the right to withdraw at any time. The ethical approval gives protection to the right of the participants. It gives dignity to the participant and the welfare of the participants. Understand? So some people, you see that they want to do research with them, they will go and pay their transport for all of them to come and gather somewhere. So you don't want to do research, and you will say that they should use their own personal money to come and meet you in a particular place. You must cater for their welfare also. You get now. Number two, ethical research is needed because it minimizes risk. It minimizes risk of physical and psychological or social harm. It minimizes risk of physical, social, or psychological harm. So we know that there can be research. There can be some research that are very risky, but because of the ethics of research, it will reduce the risk. A participant can tell you that, please don't mention my name, oh. Please don't show my face, oh. Understand? So even though the research is risky, but for you not to show the face of the person that you are interviewing, the participant, or for you not to show the name of the person, that means you've minimized the risk. You get? So another reason why ethical approval is essential, is important, is it protects researchers. You that you are doing your research, it protects you and the institutions from legal liability. Look at this.
Sorry, I didn't get that. The line was breaking.
It protects the researchers. It protects the researchers and institution from legal liabilities. Now let's look at it now. You interview someone that there is sex for grade. That one is common recently in Nigeria. Sex for grade, whereby some lecturer had to have sex with some student before they can grade them or before they can pass. So you are one of my friends. Is a journalist, investigative journalist. They have to detain him. You understand? He went to Foyer. There is one university in Foyer. He went there to go and do investigation on that one. Because of that, his report, he was detained for 2 weeks. We have to protest before they can release him. You understand? So because they put pressure on him to mention those people he interviewed, those students he interviewed, they put pressure on him. If he refused to mention them, because of that one, they have to detain him. That if you don't mention them, we will detain you. So, at the same time, if a participant tell you that you should not show my face, if you show you in the face, the person can bring up a loss, can sue to court. And so for you not to be going to court because you are doing research, or for you not to be in liability, because if they sue you to court, at the end you will be liable to pay money. Or you go to jail. So if you are doing the research, the ethical part of research is trying to protect you and your institution from legal liability, not to enter one chance. Understand? The fourth one, why the ethical approval is essential, is because it requires funding bodies, journals, and academic standard. So you don't do your research in vague. You do your research by following some procedures. You understand? You do your research. That's what we say is research. You are looking for something that is lost, a problem, a research problem. You are trying to find a gap, a research gap. You are trying to, so it require by funding bodies. You must follow funding bodies rules. Understand? Or what is in journals or academic standard. So you must follow. When you follow academic standard, if you are seeing that you are in problem, it's better you go back. You start again. Understand? You should follow this procedure, not follow this procedure in order not to be in problem. You get? So these are 4 reasons of why ethical approval is essential. You can have many reasons, but these are what I just penned down for you. So to watch. Although that's in module 3. This is in module 3, but we've not done that in our revision class, but it's in the course material. And my personal notebook, I put it there. Now let's proceed now to another question that is asked under this ethical issues and informed consent. Another question they ask is ethical principle underpinning research. What are the ethical principles underpinning research? Understand? What are the ethical issues underpinning research? That is things that you must follow at all costs. So you must put that one in your brain when you are doing your research. The number 1.
Sorry. What are the ethical principles of what?
Sorry, is it ethical issues or ethical principles?
Ethical principle.
Okay, principle.
Ethical principle underpinning research. I think some people have class now.
It hasn't started.
I also have class now. Let me just know if it's
the class hasn't started though. It's
Hasn't
8:09.
started.
There's no need.
Professor Ranatu.
Yes.
In case it starts, just let me know. I also have the class. Now, ethical principle underpinning research. Number 1 is autonomy. Autonomy. This means that there must be respect for individual right to decide. Those people you are intervening, you must also give them a regard, a respect for also to decide what they want. If he wants you to show his face, show his face. If he wants you to mention his name, mention his name. But if he tell you, don't mention my name, don't show my face, don't show it, or else you fall into legal actions. That's an autonomy. Give them it's not that the research is not about you alone, the researcher. It's about both you, the researcher, your institution, and the participant involved. Understand? Number two. Beneficence and non-maleficent. Like benefit, it must be beneficent. It must be beneficent. Understand? Not maleficent. Like it must not be problematic. Benefit. The opposite of beneficent, maleficent. So, beneficent and maleficent. You must be able to maximize benefit and minimize harm. You must not expose the participant to risk. Even you, the researcher, you must not be too exposed to risk. You must be able to show the importance, the benefit you will get at the end of the research, not exposing yourself to risk. There will be risk in some research, but minimize it. Focuses on how to increase the benefits. You understand? So as a researcher, you put it in your brain also when you are doing your research. That I don't know which word use, but that's a principle you must follow when you are doing your research. You get? So number 3, veracity. V-E-R, veracity. Veracity means that there must be an element of honesty and truthfulness in communication. No manipulation, no pressure, and no coercion. So there must be an element of truthfulness and honesty. That is, people you are doing the research with, do not go and lie to them before you can get information from them. you must be truthful and you must be honest enough to let them know this is the reason why I am doing this research. Some will accept, some will not accept. Understand? So you should be truthful and honest enough in communication. Understand? Number 4, we have justice and inclusiveness. Justice and inclusiveness. So here we're talking about fairness in participant selection. Fairness in participant selection. For instance, now you want to study the effect of insecurity in the northeastern part of Nigeria, and because you are afraid to travel to northeastern part of Nigeria, you now go to Lagos, go on and interview these Hausas in Lagos or the Fulani in Lagos. Understand? So that means that it is not fair enough. If you want the right answer, go there. You have to go there to get your answer. The people you want to interview must be inclusive. Your research must be inclusive enough with people involved, not people that are that are outside in Lagos. You're not just going to focus on outside in Lagos because you say, I think outside in Lagos, most of them come from Northeast. No, you don't see that. You go to the Northern East part to do that research you want to do. That those people you want to interview must be, that there must be fairness enough for you to do your research. You must follow fairness and inclusiveness. You must include them. So maybe you want to do research on male and the numbers of male affected, the numbers of parents affected, because due to insecurity, we've seen that some parents have lost their son, their daughters. So if you want to do that one, you focus on that. You go there, you do your research, you include them. You not just go to another part and do your research. You get number 5, privacy and confidentiality. Privacy and confidentiality. That means that you must be able to protect sensitive data. Listen, if they give you information that this information you cannot see it on news, protect the information. If they tell you don't mention my name, that is the privacy. Don't show my face, don't show my house address. Because from interview, you go to their house. Don't take picture of my house. Because some people, if you take picture of their house, they will know. Like my father's house, if you just take the picture in my area, everybody will know that this is the house. Because it's this only story building there. So the only story building is easy to locate. So there must be confidentiality and privacy. Privacy must be there. Listen, do not show my identity, do not show my address, do not show my name, my face. You must follow that one. Listen, that means that this principle are forcing a researcher to a boiling point that you must do this thing or you must not do this thing. Or understand? The last one is respect for vulnerable people. You must respect people. You must respect the vulnerable people. Respect for vulnerable people. Listen, some people might be handicapped. Some people might be blind. Some people might be, they don't have legs, they don't have hands. Understand? So you must respect them when you do your research. You consider justice and fairness. Everybody you are doing your research with are equal, no matter the status, no matter the religion, no matter who they are. They are equal. Understand? So these are the ethical principles underpinning a researcher. That a researcher you must not deviate to, you must put that one in your mind if you want to do your research. You understand? So I think the class has not started yet. So can we proceed? Can we proceed?
Yes, Abi.
Yes, please continue.
Yes.
So this is about the team 2, which is the ethical issues and the informed consent. I will share the screen again. We'll go to team 3. The team 3 talked about the research problem identification or research problem. Let me just I have a lot of work here. A lot of people assignments that I have not submitted to them back. So now, research problem identification. Look at this question now. Tell me a question that talks about research problem. Which question talks about research problem? Am I even?
Question 3.
Question 3. What is question 3 saying?
What do you understand by research problem?
Okay.
Then the B part, discuss the 5 steps of problem formulation in research.
Thank you very much. So, they said 5 steps of problem formulation in research. So that is otherwise known as how to 5 steps of problem identification. So how to identify problems. So we proceed again. In this slide, which of the questions talks about research problem?
Question 3.
6.
Question 3. Somebody said question 6.
3. That's hypothesis.
What?
Number 3. That's question 3.
3.
What is number 3 saying?
What is the importance of problem definition in research?
Okay. And
mention and discuss 3 steps that guide problem definition.
Thank you. They said 3, mention and discuss 3 steps that guide problem definition. And they also mention the importance of problem definition in research. You understand? So that question 3, they are not talking about the definition of research problem. You understand? They are talking about the importance of problem definition, why you must define your problem, why you must. So they are why you must, because the research problem will give you where you should work for, where you should work on. Understand? Because it will show the gaps you are trying to investigate. Okay. So we proceed again. That means 2 out of 2. Okay. Yeah. Which one talks about research problem?
Number 3.
Number 3. Why is somebody should read it?
Why is problem identification important in research?
Okay.
With relevant examples, discuss the attributes of a good research problem.
Thank you very much. Look at that.
And number 4 as well.
Number 4.
Mention and discuss any 5 steps that guide the identification of a research problem.
Thank you very much. Look at that 3A. That 3A with this question, where they mention importance of problem definition. So, the step in is here. Which question? Number 3B here. Number 3B in here, where they sort of discuss 5 steps in identifying, is also similar to number 3A here, problem identifications. So here it shows in 2 questions, 3 and number 4. Here, which question talks about it here? Research problems.
That's 3. Okay.
What?
None.
So, which means out of 4 questions we've seen, 3 questions shows research problem, why 1 is not showing. Now, here also, which one shows about research problem?
None.
So out of 5, 3 shows about research problem, 2 is not showing. Okay. What about here?
Number 2.
Number 2. What is number 2?
List and explain any 3 major features of a good research problem.
Okay. List and explain good features of a good research problem, which is characteristics of research problem. You have to list them.
Please, can we? Sorry. Please, can we look at number 5? Is it related in any way?
No. Research design is a different topic.
All right.
Different topic. We'll get there also. Thank you. So now let's look at here. Which one? That means out of 6 questions, 4 talks about research problem, 2 is not talking about it. Yeah, can you look at here?
Yeah, number 2.
List and explain. Can you out for me, please?
List and explain 4 sources of research problems.
Thank you very much. List and explain 4 sources of research problems. Understand? So, and that means out of how many questions? 6 questions. 5 talks about it. No, out of 7 questions, 5 talks about it. 2 is not talking about it. Yeah.
Number 3.
Okay. What is
critically discuss any 4 sources of a good research problem.
Okay. Research problem. You critically discuss any 4 sources of a good research problem. And the last one, which is number 9, question 9. Okay, which one?
Number 3.
Number 3. What is number 3 saying?
What is problem in research? Discuss the 5 steps of problem formulation. Is that it?
Yeah, thank you very much. You can see out of 9 past questions, is only in 2 past questions that they did not talk about research problem. You understand? So you, as I'm saying, you in my revision class, you should be able to be calculating. Listen, as I'm giving you this expose, you should be able to be calculative enough that this thing, 1 plus 1, 2, it might come out, it might not come out, but the tendency that it will come out. Because out of 9 questions, it shows in 7th, and it's also showing in 2. You get? Now let's take them one after the other, and we'll proceed.
All right, excuse me, please.
Yeah.
Someone on the group chat said they are unable to join.
They are unable to join this.
Yeah. Can you check if they are?
Is it on the general group chat? I didn't share in general group chat.
Group 2, no. For
Sorry.
revision class.
Let me check. Group 2. Group 2. Just bear with me. Please send a link. Some of them don't have how do you call them? They don't have how do I send the link? So I'll try to send it again. Some of them don't have the app. Yeah, they don't have the app. Just bear with me. I want to see if I can let them in. Sorry. I don't know. Just bear with me. Should I stop the class and start a new one?
But how long do we have to finish?
We just have, let's say we have like
they can always watch the YouTube video.
I've sent the link to the group. Hopefully that he will join. Thank you. Now let's take it now. Let's take them one after the other. So you can see that out of 9 past questions, they shows in 7 why 2 is not showing. You get? So now let's take it one after the other now. What is a research problem? That's a concern now. What is a research problem? So I'll just advise you to have a book. So me, I have book. This one, 100 leaves. I have like 5 for each of the course. I have 100 leaves for each of the course. So I have 5 books for each of the course. So it's not that easy. So it's not that easy. Now, what is research? If you have your book, it's easier because me, I believe in what I pen down. I remember. So if you pen down things, you can remember easily. Me, I don't know how it works with me, but most of the topics is like they are teaching me. I don't know who is teaching me, but it's like they are teaching me. But so far as I have my pen and my book, it enters into my head easily. So I advise you to just have your pen on your book. So what you pen down, you can easily remember. Listen. Now, what is research problem? Research problem. A research problem is a research problem is a clear, specific, and researchable issues or gap. Is a clear, specific, and researchable issues or gap that requires investigation. Is a clear, specific, researchable issues or gap that requires investigation. In your definition of research problem, the word gap must show. Understand? The word gap, G-A-P, gap must show. Because when you do research, how do you call it? When you do research investigation, you research problem. When you want to do your research problem, you tend to look at problems in other people's work. Where is other people? Which part of the research they did not talk about? Because that will be your own area of focus. Like, they did not talk about this thing, I will talk about it in my own research. So that is the gap you are trying to fill in. So the research problem help you do the investigation about the gap in a research. You understand? So it identifies what is not known. It identifies what is not known. What needs improvement, or what needs to be explained in a phenomenon. It identifies what is not known, what needs improvement, and what needs to be explained in a research phenomenon. That's quite 3 questions. What is not known? That means that a researcher did not talk about it. That means it is not known. But you have an idea about it, so you want to do your research on that. What is not known? Understand? What needs improvement? It might be that the researcher talks about it, but not extensively. So it is improvement. Or what needs to be explained in a research phenomenon, or something that is not known to anybody is an issue that you need more explanation to it. That is a research problem. Understand? Now, the importance of research problem identification. The importance of research problem identification. Importance of research problem identification. Importance of research problem identification. Number 1 importance of research problem identification is it provides direction and focus for the study. It provides direction and focus for the study. It provides direction and focus for the study. Which means that if you know a research problem, that means you know where you are going. You will not be parabolating. You know the direction of where you're facing. That means it serves as a direction to the researcher. You will know where you need to touch. Understand? So without knowing your research problem, you will not have direction in doing your research. Number 2, importance of research problem identification. Number 2, it forms the basis of objectives. It forms the basis for objectives, questions, and hypotheses. It forms the basis of objectives, questions, and hypotheses. You will see in the research that some people will say, by the end of this study, let me just remove research. In our course material, in our handout, you will see that at the beginning they say, by the end of this study, student must be able to understand, must be able to explain. Understand? So the same thing applicable to research problem identification. It helps you to know your objectives. That is the purpose of why you are doing this research. It helps you explain the purpose of why you are doing this research, and it helps you to formulate questions. Why is this researcher did not talk about this? Why did he talk about this but did not explain it well? You understand? It helps you to formulate questions, research questions. You understand? And hypotheses. Understand? Now, the number 3 importance of research problem identification. It ensures relevance and significance. Because it ensures relevance and significance. The research problem identification, once you know a problem, you have relevance in your research. You just, since you have your direction, you have your objective, there is going to be relevant in what you are doing. People will ask you, what are you doing? You just tell them that I'm trying to fill the gap in this research problem. That means you have a reason of doing the research. But if there is no research problem, if there is no gap, they will ask, what are you doing? I'm just trying to read out this thing and try to find out something. So the research problem gives you relevant and significant to your study, to your work. Understand? The 4th one is a research problem guide your literature review. It guides the literature review. it helps you to explain which journal you should read, which book you should focus on. Somebody was saying in the group, in the general group, that is there any book on what Donald Trump says? Is there any book, like, did anybody write any book on what Donald Trump wants to do in Nigeria? And I reply in the general group by saying that there is no book that talks about it now, but we have journals, we have articles online that talks about it. And these articles, they do not talk specifically on Nigeria. They talk about why USA usually invade countries, why they go to countries to defend countries or to attack them. Listen, so that means that is a problem. The person that asked the question brought the problem, and I give a solution by saying you can view this thing. You can view your handout. If you check the references in your handout, you can see some books there that you can read. So the research problem education, it will guide you on which book you should evaluate, you should review, or which articles, or which write-up you should just check. You understand? Why the fifth one is it prevents wasted time on irrelevant issues. It prevents wasted time on irrelevant issues. Once you know your research problem, it's like somebody going to the hospital and say that I'm having malaria. Automatically, the doctor will first do the test to know if it's true that it is having malaria. If they discover that it is malaria, they treat malaria. But they don't know it's malaria. They are giving you typhoid drug. They are giving you cancer, headache drug. They are just giving you. That means you just be parabolating, you're wasting time instead of going straight forward to your work. So once you know your research problem, it's very easy for you to go straight to your study. So it will prevent you from irrelevant wasting of time. You understand? Now, and the next topic the next subtopic we're talking, because it's part of the questions, understand? So I'm not bringing out the questions, I'm just trying to explain them. So they said 5 steps of problem identification. How do we do research problem identification? 5 steps of research problem identifications. 5 steps of research problem identifications. 5 steps of research problem identifications. The number one, before you can identify a research problem, the number one is selecting a broad area of interest. You select a broad area of interest. I explain it in our Module 2 class. You can just go and watch the video again in case you've not watched it. So select a broad topic. That's number one. After you have a broad topic, you now bring it to the second steps. The second step is conducting preliminary reading or observation. From your broad topic, you bring it to subtopic by reading. Understand? So you just read the broad topic after reading your broad topic, after selecting your broad topic, you read the broad topic. That's the second step. The top step will bring you to narrowing the broad topic to a specific topic. Narrowing the broad topic to specific or subtopic. It's a specific topic or issue or subtopic. You get? So you have the broad topic, you read it to understand the topic. Also, you have preliminary reading. After reading, you will now bring out some things that you want to focus on, subtopics. Understand? Number 4 is identifying a knowledge gap. After you bring out this subtopic, the knowledge gaps. What is this writer did not talk about in this article? This particular writer, what did he miss in this particular material? You get? So now identify a knowledge gap. Identify a knowledge gap. Understand? The last one is formulating a clear problem statement. That is the final stage where you have your research problem. Number 1, you get a broad topic. Number 2, you read it, You read it, you try to analyze that broad topic. Number 3, you get subtopic. After you get subtopic, number 4, you identify the knowledge gap, and then number 5, you try to formulate your own research problem or research statement problem. Understand? Am I communicating?
Please, number 5, come again, number 5. Formulating
your own clear research statement or research problem.
Okay, thank you.
Because after you have the gaps, you can bring out your own research problem. So after you identify the gaps, you can now state your own research problems. Listen. Now, we proceed. It is already, I'm checking time for you. You're in Nigeria. It is already 8:43 in Nigeria. Okay, we proceed. So, attributes of a good research problem. Attributes of a good research problem. Which is characteristics or features of a good research problem. Either you say attributes, you say qualities, you say characteristics, understand? Or you say features of a good research problem. They all mean the same thing. Number 1, clear and ambiguous. It must not be ambiguous. It must be clear. Clear and ambiguous. That's number 1. Clear and ambiguous. Your research must be clear enough for a layman to understand where you are going. It must not be ambiguous in the sense that it must not be pretexting. Yeah. Number 2, specific and focus. You know, when you bring out a broad topic into a subtopic, that means automatically it has been specific. You've point out your own area of interest. So it must be specific and focused. You understand? It must be specific and focused. I'm sorry, just bear with me. It must be specific and focused. The research problem must be specific and focused. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
The third attribute of a good research problem is that it must be feasible. The time, the resources. Like when you bring out a research problem, it should not be something that is very difficult to do your research on. It must be something feasible enough for you to do your research on. Understand? So the time you will do it, maybe it's 3-month research you want to do or 1-year research. The resources, do you have the resources? Because there are some research that you will spend money to print journals, money to print books or documents. Access. If you want to do research on the diplomatic affairs now, and you know that it's very difficult for you to have access to some offices, that means you will not be able to do your research. So your research problems must be flexible. It must be something you can do easily. You understand? Now, the number 4 attribute of a research problem is that it should be researchable using available method. You want to know the let's say your own research problem is the effect of coup d'etat in West African country on Nigerian regional power. You understand? Let's just put it as it is like this. So, is it researchable? Is it something we can research on? Is coup d'etat in most part of West Africa affecting Nigeria? Understand? Why is Nigeria concerned about coup d'etat in West Africa countries? Understand? So it's something researchable. We can, as students in diplomatic affairs classes, you should be able to try to answer that question. So it's something researchable. But do you have the access to this kind of research? If you have it, you can do it. That's the flexibility part. Listen. Why the last one is the last characteristic or attribute of a good research problem is it must be relevant to societal or academic needs. You are doing a research. Your research must be relevant. It's not that you are just doing it for your own sake. You want to do a contribution to what is happening in the society. That is why in the definition of research, we mentioned that you are trying to add knowledge or try to investigate as an existing knowledge. So you mentioned that you are trying to look at a particular problem in the society, or trying to add your own knowledge to what is happening in the society. So your research must be relevant irrelevant to societal or academic needs. That's right. If your research is not if your research is not useful to either the society or academic work, so then why are you doing your research? So it must be relevant and to both society and academics, because sometimes a researcher can just write his research and just post it online on Google Scholars. Some people will make reference to that researcher. So that means it is useful to academics. So now, another thing I will mention in the past question is the sources of a good research, which I will just give you as your assignment. You can just do it yourself, personal assignment. Sources, how you can get sources of a good research problems. That is one of the questions you read out for me. I don't want to mention that, but I would like you to do your personal research on that one. So we've mentioned it in our Module 2 videos. If you've ever watched the Module 2 videos, you will see it there. Understand? So it's already 8:49 in Nigeria. I'll stop tonight class here. But I want to share something before I stop tonight class. Just bear with me. I want to share something. Just bear with me. Let me just go look for it. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. I'm trying to look for it. 801 past question. Okay, good. Just bear with me. If I open it, I'll share it to you. You can just leave. Can you see my screen? Can you please see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, not yet.
Can you see the screen now?
Okay, yes, it's popping up.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So
we can see it now.
You see, this thing is we just did team 3, right? Am I right? The first team we talk about quantitative and qualitative. The second team we talk about ethical issues and informed issues. While the third team we talk about research problem. And where we are going is team 9, which means our questions in 801, they are mostly taken in 9 topics. You understand? Our question in 801, they are taken in 9 topics, and this is things I've already grouped for you. I did it for all the courses, but we stopped here. We stopped at importance of research. Okay, so we stop here. So the next one we need to talk about is literature review. You understand? So literature review. Just bear with me. Literature review. So can you look at these questions on? We will not treat it because it's already to 9 in Nigeria, so we will not treat it. But I just want you to just look at it now. Which of the questions talks about literature review?
Question 5.
Question 5. Can you read it?
Explain the 2 main sources of literature.
Okay.
Then the part, discuss 3 steps in writing your literature review.
Okay, that's the one question. In this second question, which one?
Number 4.
Question 4.
What?
What is literature review? Okay. Why is it important in research?
Okay.
What are the 4 functions of literature review?
Thank you very much. Out of 2 past questions, it occurred 2 times. In here also, can you check here?
None.
Out of 2, it occurred in
out of 3.
Okay. Yeah, what about here?
Number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5. Number 5.
Can you read it out?
What is literature?
Okay.
Mention and discuss 5 reasons why literature review is important.
Thank you very much. Out of 4, it appears in 3. Okay. Yeah. What about here?
Number 4.
Number 4. What is the question?
Discuss any 4 reasons why literature review is conducted in research.
Okay. Discuss any 4 reasons why. So out of 5, it occurs in 4.
Excuse me, I'm coming. Please go back to this question. Why did it say discuss any 4? Then bracket 2 reasons.
That's typograph. That's
typo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here now, what about here?
Number 4.
Okay.
Number 4.
Number 4. What did you say there?
List and explain any 4 benefits of
conducting literature review.
Thank you very
much.
So which means out of 6 questions, it's in 5 questions. Okay, what about here?
Question 5.
List and explain any 4 benefits
literature review in research.
Out of 7, it occurs 6. Okay.
6.
I don't think it's
Any other?
There's none.
None. So out of 8, it occurs in 6. What about here?
Number 5.
Number 5 saying?
What are the 2 main sources of literature?
Okay.
Discuss 3 steps in writing your literature review.
Thank you very much. So out of 9, it occurs in 7 questions. So you can see that Azeez know what he's doing. I know what I'm doing. So I know what I'm doing. So being in the educational field before, I was a teacher before, so I know how they set questions and how things happen in exam. So you can see that this question occur like out of 9 past questions, like out of 9 exams, because each year it is 3 exams. So making 3 years, we are trying to study 3 years, and so out of 9 sittings, it occur in 7. So out of 9, it occurs in 7, which means it is a topic you must read before you go to your exam hall. None of you that you are attending in my class, you must be afraid of exam. You must not have tension before you go to the you must not have tension. Exam phobia. You attend my revision class, you should not have exam phobia. Understand? Because we will discuss. No exam phobia. Because we will discuss
yes, sir.
Exam. You understand? I'm not saying that this is how the lecturer is going to write the question, but I'm saying that it's a topic that you cannot escape them, that their topic cannot escape them in exam. That's now. They will not bring the question from heaven. They bring the question from the course materials. And you can see how we've done 3. This is the 4 teams, and we are going to 9 teams. You understand? So you can see. So I don't know how it's going to be. It's already 9, so it's already to 9 in Nigeria. So I will stop our class here. We'll stop our class here. Let me just pause this recording for anyone that asks question. Let me just put recording. I'll pause it. So I've stopped recording.